Reading Text 1.1 blog by Fatima Al-Azzah. I saw my first squash court in 2008 at my local gym. At that time, I was looking for a sport to add to my fitness routine. Little did I know that 10 years later, I would be famous as one of the first professional female squash players in the Middle East. For those of you who are unfamiliar with squash, it is not like tennis or badminton. Even though both sports use a racket and a ball, and can be played by either 2 or 4 players, a game of squash takes place on a 4-walled court. The ball is small, about the same size as a golf ball, and is made of rubber. The aim of the game is to hit the ball in such a way that your opponent cannot return it. As far as I know, there are about 20 million squash players in something like 185 countries worldwide. For me, squash is perfect. I can train alone, yet I burn 1,000 calories every hour. Because it is mentally and physically intense, I never get bored. I went from playing squash for fun to becoming a real force on the court after suffering several defeats. At first, other players refused to play with me because I was just a beginner and not very good, but I was determined to get better, so I joined a local tournament at my gym. I lost loads of games, and I was really disappointed, but I made a promise to myself that I would keep trying to improve. This pushed me into learning particular movements and the finer techniques of the game. I went to Italy to study marketing at university, but in my free time I trained with other players at a nearby squash center. When I finished studying and returned home, I had to go back to training alone, because there just weren't very many good squash players. There were also very few coaches in my hometown, and opportunities to compete with other female players were particularly limited. Today, my training has to follow a system, so it requires a great deal of discipline. This is something that I value in every part of my life, not just when I train and play squash. I have a goal-oriented style, and I'm like that at work too. I set goals for myself and really work hard to achieve them, putting in all the hours and energy necessary. In short, I don't stop until everything is right. In 2020, at a Professional Squash Association regional event, I had the opportunity not only to meet elite international players, but also to actually get on a court with some of the world's best players. This was a completely overwhelming experience, and one that I'll never forget. Early in 2021, I won my first women's squash tournament, and I hope my success will inspire the next generation of women athletes. Of course, there are challenges, as with any dream, and we're not there yet. But if we can find solutions to helping more women play squash, establish more clubs and build more courts, who knows what levels we can reach.